Welcome back to JHL Cinema Clash. Guys, I got a little hot take for you guys. What's a movie that you guys think that's overrated that everybody loves?
You want to start that off, Jay?
I come from the top of my mind. And this is a movie I tried to like. I went to the movies with my son. Captain America, Brave New World. I really didn't like it. I felt it was they were leading up. For me, they were trying to make it seem like Steve Rogers was never Cap. They were trying their hardest to erase him from that, but that's a character you just can't erase. And Sam tried, but I don't like him as Cap. I'm gonna be honest.
So
He should have
one
stood as Falcon.
so I understand the take. The truth is off if we went off the comics, and me and Laz have spoken about this plenty of times, where technically it goes from Steve Rogers to Bucky Barnes and then Sam Wilson.
Well, it should
But
have
they
been Bucky
skipped.
because Bucky's way more fit for the part. You got someone that doesn't even use the serum. He
Yeah,
just
yeah,
has the
human.
wings.
Yeah,
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 he's a
he's a
human
human.
dude. And talking about that, the way they did what was his name again? The leader. They made him horrible. Like I was expecting the big head. They had him looking like a broccoli.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
had him straight up looking
I
like a broccoli.
That's one
Not
of the
even
takes
he.
I had on that too.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
was the biggest take for me as well. Was that he looked so bad, bro. He really
yeah.
looked like one of those characters out of what's the name of that show? Day After Tomorrow. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Nah, it was horrible. I'm sorry. And don't even get me started with the fight scene with Red Hawk.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That
Because
fight scene was good.
so the fight scenes were good, but you're gonna have someone with a shield and wings fuck up Red Hawk. And he not even fuck him up that much. Because yes, they went at it, but you put him to sleep in the end. He was like, yo, look at these flowers. Think about your daughter. And it like got him skinny and everything. I was like, this can't be finishing like that. I said, nah, that they should have done a better job at that.
I mean, it reminded me of like Batman versus Superman when he was like Martha, and they were like, Martha, my mom's name's Martha. It was one of those movies. we're pals. And they gave each other a high five, and
Like I said, they should have not jumped the Bucky. They should have kept it. It's a movie that, like I said, I try to like, but every time I look at him, like, you wasted the Red Hawk. The Raging Red Hawk, he could have destroyed. He's destroying tanks. And you telling me a human being that's crying half of the movie, I want to be like Cat.
He actually didn't want that. He was the one saying like he didn't want that mantle. Like he didn't want to have to deal with being Captain America. He was perfectly fine being the sidekick.
so I'm not gonna lie. There was two things that I enjoyed about the movie, and one of them. So before I get into the two, the Red Hulk, remember this was his first rage out per se, right? It wasn't like he controlled it. It wasn't nothing like that. It was more like um leader was feeding him in little by little the serum to get him into the Red Hulk. But two of the things that I did enjoy of the movie, I did enjoy the new Falcon where he had the green outfit, which is the original classic outfit, which that looked dope, right? And then the CGI wasn't as bad as most people think, except for Leader. Leader, I don't know if it's because it would have looked even weirder with that big ass.
Well, you didn't have to go that big. Is just have a big head. You're gonna give him
A broccoli
a
cut.
broccoli? Nah, you
He
can't.
went to the barber shop and was like, "Yo, hook me up with that broccoli real quick."
Nah, if I didn't, and if it comes to your point where you were saying that they were feeding him the mental shit for him
Yeah, the
becoming the
the
Red Hawk,
serum.
so you fed him that, and someone's gonna go and talk him out of it and come back to normal. No, you're supposed to rage the hell out and get some help.
Yeah, I think he was giving him the gamma pills.
Yeah, yeah, the gamma pills.
I don't know. At least that's my movie that I can't watch again. It's a good one time to see it. Even that part when he was surfing the missile. I don't know if you guys remember that part. He
Yeah,
I thought Silver Surfer now.
I got a hot take on one that I think might stir up some debate, and that's Avatar: Way of the Water. I don't know why. To me, that movie just didn't do it. Not even the new one that just came out either. They should have kept it at the first one and left it at that.
Well, there are movies like that. You have to leave with the first one and keep it like that.
So I'm not gonna lie, and there's gonna stir up a debate too. I was never a fan of a 3 hour movie of some blue dudes. Just to me, it just wasn't my cup of tea. Not even the first one. I'm gonna be honest. Most of the time, I fall asleep on the Avatar
It was a
movies.
good movie, but it wasn't a movie that I could rewatch. I definitely don't agree with the amount of support that movie has. Like, people make that out to be one of the greatest movie of the century in terms of all this CGI stuff, and it was the best movie to do it. I don't. It was good. It was a Blue Monster Tarzan style movie to me.
Yeah, literally, that's what it was. I can't defend it because I feel the same way about it. To me, it was just the graphics was dope though. That I will give them. The CGI on it was definitely top tier. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And the way, if you seen how they created it, also dope, right? But to me, it wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't my flow. Like I said before, it was just giant blue dudes, giant Smurfs. It was Smurfs, but big ass Smurfs instead of the little guys. To me, one of the ones that, and I know y'all gonna dislike me, is Spider-Man: No Way Home. To me, it's they brought back the characters, cool. They brought back the villains, cool, but there was no storyline behind that.
It was a good movie, Pussy. You can't say it's not a good movie.
So what was the story?
Bringing everybody back.
I think they missed the mark as far as storytelling with that one. It was one of those him coming to terms with Tony Stark being gone, right? Like, that was a big one.
That was never in the comics. He didn't give a fuck about Tony like that.
You're right, but it's still it because they had already established that connection between them two in the previous movies, and they had nowhere else to go with the Spider-Man.
That
was
it's not his dad. Dad, is that you? That's not his dad.
Heido hates on Spidey because Thor doesn't have good movies like that.
No, but that's where you're wrong. I love No Way Home. The first one, Homecoming, one of my favorite Spider-Mans there is. TASMs, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, two of my favorite movies that I watch to this day. Now the Tobey Maguires, I can watch 1 and 2, dope ass movies. The third one, not so much. But the 1 and 2, amazing movies too. The web slinging, I love it. Especially in Amazing Spider-Man, the way he swings in the beginning, brother, and the way he acts like Peter Parker, top tier. Not Peter Parker, sorry, like Spider-Man, top tier. Now his Peter was never that cool dude. I think that's what killed his version of Spider-Man, where Peter was always like a nerdy kid. Not, hey, I'm a cool dude that skateboards down the that wasn't
It's
Peter.
funny you mentioned that, but he had a level of coolness that you would expect from like Miles Morales and not actual Spider-Man.
Exactly. Yeah. But I love Spidey, Buddy. That's where you're wrong. I just didn't like the last two. The Mysterio one, where he was the dopest thing was the costume, the black monkey or whatever he called himself. That he had the black suit. I thought that was pretty cool. But besides that, Mysterio to me was an okay villain at best, where they could have done so much more with any other villain. Like, give me a Carnage, give me a Venom, give me Doc Ock, give me any of and it didn't even have to be one of the old characters. It could have been anyone new, but those villains where people knew and like, oh man, this would have been fire. To me, them bringing back the old villains. What I enjoyed was William Dafoe as Green Goblin. The way he spoke to himself, the way he spoke to himself in like a third person type thing. To me, that was dope. And the way he was able to flip from being innocent, oh, I don't want to do this, to being that fuck this like type shit. That shit was fire to me. Electro, besides him getting his classic suit, dope as which was dope, but besides that, mid at best. Them bringing back the Sandman, I thought he was mid in the third.
Yeah.
He was mid in that one too. Who else did they bring back? The Lizard spoke all of two sentences the whole movie.
He spoke more when he was healed.
when he was healed. Yeah, literally, bro.
I would say this, that they hinted at something there that I thought was dope, and hopefully they're going to do something with that. Is when Jamie Foxx as Electro stated, "I wonder if there's a black Spider-Man somewhere." He was like, "There's got to be," and
I
that would be
hope, brother.
interesting.
That would be.
I hope.
But they had good
But-
fight scenes also. You got like there was.
So the fight scenes were the fight scenes were dope. But the action, the CGI, the them bringing the three Spider-Mans together and them saying, "Yo, I love you, man," and then Andrew Garfield trying to be like the hugger, like let's hug
So
it
it's
out.
such a good movie. It was so good you probably don't need a story. That's how good Spider-Man is. It don't need a story to be a good movie.
It definitely does. What I will say though, to Jay's point, I think that the story was just good enough to be able to give us enough time for what's coming next. Because I think this, also something I want to point out is that in that movie that we're talking about in the original trailer, the other two Spider-Mans didn't come out in that scene, and I think looking at the last trailer we seen, there might be something missing from that we're not privy to right now until that next one comes. Who knows?
So I'm gonna give y'all what they did. They fucked up the Mysterio movie, Far From Home, when they told everybody that he was Spider-Man, and they didn't know what to do, and they needed to reset that whole Spider-Man. I was talking to Laz about this earlier, where I seen a podcast and it made sense, where the guy was saying, "Hey, they fucked up the storyline because they did. There was no such thing as people knew who Spider-Man was. That wasn't a thing, right? There was very few people that knew who was Spider-Man. When they told the world, they said, "Damn, we fucked this up." If we bring all this money into it, right, people will forget that there's no story behind this. Let's bring out Tobey Maguire. Let's bring out Andrew Garfield.
And Tobey Maguire is one of the best Spider-Mans there is.
He's third on the list, brother. Sorry to tell you. He's definitely third. Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man to ever live.
The one to leave his girlfriend die. Okay.
But in reference to him being Spider-Man per se, the best one by far.
Yeah, but Toby did it both as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. You can't say he didn't.
I'm not a fan of the Tobey Maguire. I like the storyline. I like the movie. I just don't like him as an actor for Spider-Man. He's too always crying and get the fuck out of here with your feelings, bro. I'm trying to see you kick some ass, bro. I ain't trying to see all that.
Fuck wrong with you, Terry?
What's going on, Terry?
All right, guys, if you guys like this kind of content, go ahead and follow, like, subscribe. Let us know if you guys think that these were overrated or are we just talking out our ass.